What's up, y'all? What's going on? How are we? It's a beautiful day today. August fucking 18th? August the 18th. It's today Tuesday? What day is today? Is today Tuesday? I don't even know. Damn, I'm tripping. No, today's Monday. Today's Monday. No, today's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Wow, I'm glad we got there, guys. Okay. So, today, title goes Ego and the Clown Car Inside Your Head. Maybe part 1. We'll see. Ego, dude. There's a couple hundred different ways to look at ego, I guess, right? So I'm just gonna pick a few that I like. You got so think of a light going through a stained glass window pane, right? Ego is that window pane. The light is source, right? Or God or spirit, whatever you want to call it. And then shining through your ego, right? And it gives it a different quality, right? It filters it. That's a good way of looking at ego. There's another one where it's like, ego is wrapped around, it's like a ball that's wrapped around your spirit or soul or whatever, or source. Which is very similar to like the window pane thing. You also have, so, okay. Where are we going? Okay. No, let's finish the explanation. So you also have a way that this young lady, this beautiful woman named Katie Clark, there we go, on YouTube. She makes like videos talking about like manifestation and shadow work and stuff like that. Great stuff. Katie Clark, highly recommend. Check that out. But she has a really interesting way of looking at how reality is kind of like structured from like an individual perspective, I guess. So we exist on the physical plane, right? That's like the lowest vibrational plane that we exist on, which is where all the material stuff lives, and you know, your body and all that. Then the next level up is the mental plane, and that's you know, where ideas are born and where your ego also lives, where maybe like entities also exist, things that can latch onto you, ancestors maybe. Then you go one more up and you have the spiritual plane, right? Where you truly reside, right? Where source really, where your true core is. But ego is kind of the middleman. Ego is unavoidable. It's the filter that lets you perceive without going crazy. It's the filter that allows you to perceive without going crazy. Am I saying that right? It's the filter that allows you to perceive without going crazy, right? Because otherwise, without this limited scope that we exist in, right, which is partly due to physical, partly due to mental aspects, yeah, we'd be, right, we wouldn't even be human. What would spirit? That's what we are. Hilariously, It's like, gosh, what's that movie? Jay and Silent Bob, with Alanis Morissette being God. She can't, like, she doesn't talk, she's mute because you'll blow up if she even speaks to you. So funny. So ego. I don't know why I wanted to talk about ego so much today. There's like a bunch of other topics that I'm like interested in talking about. But today, for some reason, it just like, I was just talk about ego, and I'm like, all right, let's go with it. Because I'm not really like structuring these. I'm just kind of like going off the cuff. I like figured out how I was gonna open up, but then everything after that is just like, let's talk about ego, I guess. So, okay. So I guess I do have like a couple of ideas behind it, maybe like an experience with it or two. So when I think about like my own ego, it's like a super slippery thing, or at least it was. It's not so slippery anymore. We're a lot more intentional with our ego, if that makes any sense. So like, it's hard to differentiate between source and ego, because you only have one voice in your head when really it's like dozens. But it all sounds the same to you because it's your voice in your head, you know? So again, it's hard to really like differentiate. And it always comes back to like being still, creating space and silence, and like just being still. Even if it's like spacing out, dude, I feel like that helps you too. For some reason, I'm coming up with being comfortable, being bored. Like accepting the boredom and just sitting in it. Because what'll happen is like, you'll probably get a call to do something, and oftentimes you'll procrastinate it. Shit, I know I've done it. But it's also, so it's these callings, right? Like, and that you get in these moments of quiet. That is that light stained through the glass pane, but it's like, it's not so distorted, you know? It's like something you actually want in a physical, and like it's something that aligns throughout these maybe 3 planes, right? Mental, being a tool, bro. I don't know what, that just came into me. Mental plane is a tool, which is where the ego exists, which is where I'm talking about intentionality in your ego, which we'll get to, I guess we'll get to eventually. Eventually, we'll get to that point. So it's finding these things that you want to do that align across the board, right? Like your freaking spirit, your soul is like wanting this thing. And so through your mental faculties, you bring it into fruition physically by putting in the work, by going through the actions and not procrastinating. You know, bringing that reality to be just for the sake of wanting to do it. Because as I was saying it yesterday, that I'm a renderer. We're all renderers. That's such a funny word. Renderists. So, someone's got to coin a different way to say that. Renderer. I hate it. Maybe it's because I'm Latin, and maybe I feel like sometimes I say things with an accent, and it trips me out. Like, what was it today? Tangential. I feel like I'm saying that super with an accent, bro, and it does not sound right. Renderer. Tangential. Anyway, enough tangents. Enough tangents. um, where was I? So finding alignment across the board with things you want to do when you're in these moments of stillness, when these things come to you. You have to also trust your like inner voice and your inner knowing, right? Like just trust it. Listen to yourself and go with it. It goes back to what I was kind of harping on yesterday, man. Even if it's crazy and it doesn't make sense and like you don't really see what the point of it is, but you want to do it, do it. Just do it. Just do it. Be delusional about what you want and like what you want to do. If it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't have to make any sense to anybody. And maybe it makes a little bit of sense to you, some of it, and that's all that matters. Just do what you want to do. Be you, you know? Be authentically you as much as possible. Finding those things that like align with you across the board. You know? Because then what happens is okay, there's a couple things that are happening here. But I'm not sure where to attack it from at this point right now. Because my mind is now splitting into 3 different kind of tangents a little bit. I'm slowly losing them. So, okay. So in stillness, right? Like, for example, right before I started recording this, I lit some incense. That's going on over there. But I, for some reason, spaced out super hard. It's that it's so quiet in here and like it's comfortable. It's like really, it feels really peaceful in this house, which is something I think I've been cultivating. It feels nice. So I'm sitting there lighting this incense and I just freaking space out, bro. I just lose it, dude. I just clock out immediately. Like left the building, lights are on, no one's home. And I was just there, just like staring at the smoke. Just spaced out. And in that moment, like ideas came to me, you know, really like almost super quietly, you know. You gotta have the ears to listen to it. Or like, it's not even the ears to listen to it. It's just the belief and you just gotta like believe in what you're saying to yourself internally. Because I feel like we all can hear it to some degree, right? Like we can hear what's inside of us. It's just like maybe we ignore it, you know, or like put it off or just straight up ignore it, I guess, yeah. And that is oftentimes the call of the spirit. Because it is met with resistance. That's a good way to know when it's met with resistance. Resistance is always a good sign of like something that you need to move through. I feel like my greatest blessings in my life and like greatest comeuppances have been on the other side of resistant barriers that I create for myself. You know, and the more I trust my inner knowing and I listen to it and I just act a fool, bro. Act a fool. Speaking of act a fool, I got 2 days off coming up. I got cut today. And something I didn't do last time that I love to do is paint my nails on my days off, man. So I might do that right now and talk shit while I'm doing it. So, fucking, there goes a curse. I mean, I guess I left a couple slip. Doesn't matter. So, okay, so ego tip. Okay, so I was talking about my experience spacing out. I got this like kind of download for these 2 days off. Right. That's kind of the thing that happened. I was like there and I'm like, I got 2 days off. I got cut today. I have to take advantage of this time, you know, or not, or not. It's just that, like, for me personally, I'm doing like energy gymnastics with myself by allowing myself to go into like these deep negatives where I usually dislike myself for not doing something or doing too much of something, right? Like not doing the work I know I need to do, or maybe like, I don't know, eating a whole medium pepperoni pizza. You know what I mean? Things you don't want to do that aren't good for you. You know they're not good for you, but you do them anyway. So, will this work? Will this work? Dude, this thing is so firm. It just like wait, see, it's like, make sure that's closed. And then we go like, okay, so it's better on a surface. All right. So, yeah, what was I just ranting about? See, I get tangential. I forget things sometimes. It's okay. So ego, be yourself. In moments of quiet, you get these downloads and you just follow them, dude. And you just do the thing unapologetically. And then, okay, so we remember now. I play energy mambo, energy chicken with myself, where I let myself hit these negatives and I use that to impulse me into a positive. What do I mean by that? Like, I feel so, not like super shitty. I kind of gotten over this idea of like feeling bad for myself, like giving myself pity for like doing, and it's like, no, dude, that's part of what I am. Like, that's part of what I want to be. So it's okay. Like, if I want to house a whole medium pepperoni pizza, I can't believe that's like my example. If I want to house a whole medium pepperoni pizza, I'm going to house a whole medium pepperoni pizza. I don't care. I still know what I got to do to get my body right, like mentally, you know what I mean? Like, I have trust in myself where I can do crazy stuff. Because that's the whole point, right? That's what we're talking about here. I want to do crazy stuff. Not crazy stuff. I just want to be I'm okay doing whatever I want to do, even if that means it's eating that whole pizza, right? I'm okay doing whatever I want to do, even if it's not the best for me, because I'm gonna super enjoy it in that moment. Like, dopamine is gonna hit. It's not the best for me, okay, sure, and it's gonna set me back a little bit on my fitness journey or whatever, but who cares? I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of that pizza, you know? We will exercise restraint on another day, and I'm keeping track of all this stuff, right? I got like a habit tracker over there that maybe we'll talk about in a different video. I got the idea of this habit tracker, or at least like the way it's formatted, from another YouTuber out. I forget his name right now, but I'll put him. He's good, man. I like his stuff. Australian guy, I think. Super good. Anyway, yeah, so I'm keeping track of this stuff. So like, while I allow myself the space to just like be a goof and do unhealthy things for myself, I'm keeping track of it so that I know not to do it too much, you know? Like, there needs to be some level of responsibility, some level of like, think about what the highest version of yourself looks like and what that person is doing. Would the highest version of me house a whole medium pepperoni pizza? Probably, yeah. And then the next day, he'd get up and still like bang it out, you know, make music, make this video, do whatever, you know, have a good day and like live in balance. Like, I'm not gonna have a whole another pizza today too, right? Live in balance, you know? I don't know. It's all about balance. So like, something that comes to mind here, right? Like, in this movie, and then in an X-Men movie called I think it was Days of Future Past. I think. or maybe it was First Class. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of these early ones with James McAvoy and Fassbender as Professor X and Magneto, right? Freaking Professor X and Magneto are out here in the school, right? Like, I think Professor X just got it or something. I don't know. In the academy where the mutants are trained. Big satellite in the distance. Professor X tells Magneto, hey, move it. He's like, nah, bro, that's heavy as hell. What are you talking about? He tries to move it, but he can't, because at this point in the movie, he had lost his, like, main drive of power, which is, like, anger, right? He felt rage all his life because of all the messed up stuff he went through. And now he kind of, like, lost that anger. And so our boy, Professor X, is like, dude, true power lies somewhere in between serenity and rage. And I guess this is a long-winded way of saying, like, it's about that kind of a balance for everything. It's in the swing of the change of power and, like, the paradox, right? And, like, trying to fathom the paradox. In that change of polarity, there's energy, and, like, you can harness that shit. You know what I mean? So, like, words don't do justice for, like, the stuff that goes in my head, honestly. But we try our damnedest anyway. So the ego is kind of like a child that you have to deal with, you know? That's where your shadow is too, dude. Like, the ego is just like a kid you gotta deal with. And there's gonna be energy changes and, like, these polarity shifts within you, because you're trying to manage this crazy kid inside of you that wants, like, all the good, all the pleasure in the world, right? Without any of the hard work. And so it's managing that energy, right? In tune with spirit, in tune with your highest self, knowing the difference between your ego and that higher voice within you. Super important. It's not easy to do. It takes time and practice. I'm not the best. I'm not saying I'm like a guru or anything. God, I'm, like, so far from that. But I do try. You know, I do try hard on, like, trying to get these things right. And I'm doing okay at best. I feel like I'm doing better and better, though, as days go on. So it does feel nice, right? I'm having moments where, like, I'm trusting, right? I'm because I'm doing, right? Because I'm acting more, I'm building a rapport where I can trust myself, right? And, like, I can know what I want to be, or, like, this person, right? So, like, earlier I asked, what is your higher self doing? Like, what would they do? Like, what's their vibe? It's that, like, the more I act, the more I trust in this image that I have, because I feel like I'm getting closer to it, the more that's revealed on this end, if that makes sense, right? There's the projection in my head, and then there's the real-time learner moving through time and space, right? And both of them grow. Damn, it's so funny the way I'm, like, looking at it. Both of them grow closer to each other the more I act on this end. It feels like, because I get more information of how this person in my head wants to be, and I'm becoming more of it physically as I do and act. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So that, I guess now we could talk about intentional ego use. I don't even know, man. I mean, I guess I've talked enough about like how it exists within you, right? Maybe how to recognize it. Yeah, it just wants to like, it's pleasure seeking. It's, you know, and it's hard to tell the difference because your spirit wants good things for you too. And it's not always going to be pleasure seeking, but there does, you know, it's there. Your spirit also wants pleasure for you, for all your timelines. Yeah, for all your timelines. It's just your ego gets in the way. You psych yourself out with positive and negative. And that's something I've actually like, I promise you we'll get to intentional ego use at some point in time in this video. And that's something else I was wrestling with, like the positive, the over confidence, the hubris. God, good word, the hubris. Because the negative is easy to identify. Once you've dealt with it enough and you like recognize it and you like look at it good, look at it well, understand it, give it a name, it's easy to put it away. Or like not put it away, but to deal with it because it has a name. You know what it looks like. You know where it comes from. The positive side of things, it's not something, I mean, it's so different, you know? You're so sure. And it's, there's a saying, I think, maybe somewhere. Maybe I made it up. No, it's somewhere. There's a saying. I got this from somewhere. Nothing is original, right? It's not what you don't know that gets you. It's what you're for sure certain of that ain't quite so. Yeah. So that's part of it too, I guess. Doubt everything you know. Nothing you know, or like what you know as true now could not be true in the next moment. So doubt everything. So, all right. So you've done the stillness. You spent a week staring at fire. What's that called? Damn. Scrying? Scrying. Is that how you use scrying? I feel like that's how you use scrying. You scried it into a flame. Sounds cool. Anyway, you're scrying for a week. You've identified more or less what ego looks like. You've identified what your source looks like. You've got the instructions. You've got the game plan. You're starting to follow it. But like you fall down and you get discouraged, you know? It's this idea of energy manipulation that I've been talking about. It all comes, I mean, I guess it's all the same thing, really. It's just like, I feel like this universe we're in, if you understand a handful of core concepts, it's actually really simple, right? Everything's a fractal, everything's a pattern of some sort. Time is cyclical-ish, oddly cyclical-ish. Time is weird. Time is weird. It's like a spiral that expands and contracts as it moves. I don't know. Time is weird. So you fall down. You have to find the energy that exists when you're falling down in that motion from grace to, you know, your fall from grace. You have to find that energy there because there's energy in that, and then sit in that and love yourself being a degenerate, and that's okay. Love yourself being a rock queen or king. It's fine. It's fine. Because in that love, you start remembering that there's a positive, and you harness energy. Keep harnessing that energy. And then once you move up, you'll move with impulse, and you'll probably move up further than you were last time. But you got to do it all with love, because that's where it comes from. That's where the energy and the willpower comes from. don't doubt yourself, you know? You're a lot more intuitive and smarter than you could possibly ever imagine. Don't doubt yourself. You have an inner knowing. It wants you to do good things for yourself. And the ego, right? Let's get back to the ego. Maybe I've painted like a really negative light over the ego. It's not a bad thing. It's keeping you safe. You know? It's what creates boundaries. Don't be afraid of your ego. This is where the intentional. Okay, cool. Now maybe we finally talk about it. This is where the intentional thing comes in. Yeah, you're gonna fall down, but use that energy to get back up and fast and quickly. Try and close those circles faster. Be more efficient with your ups and your downs. In fact, think about like a sine wave or something. A sine wave with low amplitude takes no time at all to get back to zero. So stay stable. Don't let those highs get you so high. Don't let the lows get you so low. Harness that energy as you're moving through to tighten that loop so it happens in less time and you can get more done. You know, and it's okay to feel all of it. Remember, all of it with love, man. You gotta love all bits of yourself, all your egoic, you know, nonsense, the tantrums, the desires that maybe you don't even deserve. It's all valid and justified, man. Just love yourself. Don't hurt other people, right? Just be honest. Love yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with others. Don't be afraid of your ego. Just keep it under control, you know? Acknowledge what it is, right? Like, my ego is a huge monster inside of me. If you ever watch Naruto, it's like Kurama. It's like I have a Kurama inside of me. I have a 9-tailed fox demon inside of me that thinks he's the hottest shit on the planet. It's true. The strongest being to ever exist is inside of me. Isn't that some crazy shit to like say out loud? It's some crazy shit to say out loud. But that's what I feel. I like honestly feel that way about myself. But I temper it, you know, and I use that insane energy to fuel my life, I guess. Yeah, I know what it is. I don't hate it. I actually love my Kurama very much. He's just crazy, you know. I can't identify with him fully. He's wild. What do you mean I'm the strongest being on the planet? You're crazy, bro. Relax. But I know I'm hot shit, right? Thank you, Kurama. You've given me boundless confidence. I call him Kurama, but that's not really his name. Maybe I'll say his name one day in one of these videos. Yes, harness that inner ego. Don't be afraid of it. Use it intentionally, but be careful. It is a snake. It is a dastardly little bastard, which is why you set up these systems in the first place of course correction. Close your circles, make them tighter. Don't let your amplitude get too high or too low. Coast around zero. Try and keep your emotions in check. You know, they're all valid and you can feel what you feel. It's so okay to feel whatever you feel. Don't make yourself feel bad about feeling something. You're feeling it for a reason. So like, take it in, man. Like, take it in and not enjoy it, but like, take it in. Learn what it is you're feeling and why. Oftentimes it goes away once you like uncover the mask. Once you like look at it and you see what it is and where it comes from, it's like, oh, that's silly. Or like, oh, what the heck? Why do I think that? You know? It's not that deep oftentimes. And believe me, I like to make everything that deep. Just what I am, you know? Everything in my life has to have profound meaning. Not really. I'm a goofball. I take very little seriously. But it's weird, I don't know. Everything doesn't matter, but everything matters too. It's kind of a strange thing. I live in paradox. That's probably why I have so much energy available to me. I live in constant paradox. So yeah, ego, dude. We talked about it. We looked at it. We said what it is, what it's not, how to identify it. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Let me think about this just for a brief moment. The way I like to look at ego, right? You're splitting it up into 3 planes, making sure what you want to do is in alignment with all 3. The mental is a tool. The ego can be used intentionally, but it's like a hot potato. You got to be very careful with it. It's like a sword that can cut through anything, but the handle gets hotter the more you use it. It'll burn you if you don't let it go, because you gotta let it go. You cannot identify and hang on to your ego for too long. You gotta play with it like a tool. It's a tool. This mental space is a tool. But again, you gotta be careful with it, because on this same plane exist so many different things that sound just like you. So just be careful. Sit in stillness, meditate, identify, find what you want. Through your mental capacities, you envision it, you build it in your head, you write it, and then you start manifesting it physically. Write it down, make it, build it, whatever. Yeah. Hey, happy birthday, by the way, if it's your birthday. It's not my birthday. I'll let you know when it's my birthday. Hey, like, subscribe, comment. I love you guys. Thank you.